jobs on the controlled burn. Everything from the person in charge, who we generally call the burn boss, all the way down to the site preparer, the equipment operator, the controlman, the torch man. Before we come in and do a controlled burn, there's lots of planning that goes involved. We don't just go out and start setting something on fire.
Before we get ready for a burn, we do what we call a tailgate briefing, which is literally we stand at the tailgate of a truck and we go over our burn plan. We'll have a map and we'll go over where our baselines are going to be, and we start assigning people tasks. Whenever we're doing a burn, we have to have LCES, which is our lookouts, communications, escape routes, and safety zones. On a fire, everybody's a lookout. Communication is always important, and we always have escape route, the path we're going to take out to get to our safety zone, which is where we'll be safe from the fire.
We make a plan that gives us all the parameters for that burn. That tells us what weather has to be, including what wind direction it has to be, relative humidity, how low or how high the humidity can be, how many days since rain. In the past, that was a really good indicator of whether we could burn or not, whether or not we've had rain in the last few days. The weather parameters are in for our plan. We go out, we take weather while we're on site, and everything's still looking good. Before that, we've come out with equipment and we've prepared the site. We've put control lines around wherever we're burning. It's kind of hard to get a big, real fire engine into the woods, so we use really small ones.
We also use a drip torch. It has a mixture of diesel and gas, and what we'll do is it has a wick on the end of it. We'll wet the wick and we'll light it, and this is what we use to burn. Personally,
I prefer the easier way to do it, and for large tracks, we have a helicopter that drops flaming ping pong balls out. Who doesn't love flaming ping pongs falling out of a helicopter? For really large tracks, it works really good. Small tracks, still the best way to do it is by hand.
This is a fire rake. If we're making control lines, what we'll do is we'll rake back the fuel like this and get down to bare dirt, and we will burn on this side, and the fire wouldn't come back this way because there's no fuel to burn back towards this way. We also have to wear a hard hat because we have a lot of overhead hazards. If a limb or anything will fall out of a tree, this will keep our heads from getting hurt. Our fire gloves, which is all leather gloves, so we don't burn our hands. We also have to wear our greens and our yellows, which is what I'm wearing. It's a Nomex shirt along with Nomex pants and our fire boots. I touched on radios and communication earlier. Everybody that's on a fire has to have a radio. That way we stay in constant communications. That way we can have weather updates and updates on the fire.
So they're going to be standing there, they're going to be watching a certain section of line. And if the fire gets out of control, they can try and knock it out right then, but they can also call for help. So we keep everything just as safe as humanly possible. And then if the weather changes, we turn the fire off the best we can.
Thank you.